this happened. I love snow so much. I am such a winter person. I just went on a walk in the snow and I came back because I realized like I need to film because I don't know if the snow is gonna stay and I want this background. It's so pretty. Like, can we just? Snow is amazing. I love it so much. It's actually perfect snowman snow. Look at that. Today's video is gonna be about some differences from living in Norway to living in London, UK. Keep in mind, I'm living in a very small town in Norway right now. And of course, it's gonna be different from living in a big city in Norway. Because we do have cities that we consider big, but then I meet people in London who are like, I'm from a small city. It's like 400,000 people. You know, the capital of Norway has like 600 something thousand. So that's not really small to me. I can't find the actual list I made for this video, so I'm sure there'll be another one coming. So these are just a few off the top of my head. I was walking to one of my friends when I realized that there were school children like running across the path that I was walking on. Like, it was a sidewalk kind of thing. Kids were like running across it and I was like, I'm walking through a school right now. Like, this path is just going through the school and like no one is even thinking about it. Like, this is normal. Schools aren't fenced in here. There might be like a non-closed fence right next to a busy road, but that's just to keep the kids from running into the street, not to keep anyone outside. Because if you've been to the UK or London or whatever, you've seen that schools are like fenced in, and not just fenced in, but tall freaking mesh fences. Like, it looks like a prison. If I took one of my friends from Norway there and I was like, guess what building this is? I think most people would guess that it's a prison if they didn't see the playgrounds outside, I guess. To me, like, it just looks so institutionalized, the fact that it's so fenced in, because from my perspective, like, that's just unheard of. I'm used to seeing it in London, but it's just so, like, every time I see it, I'm still like, it's so strange that this needs to be a thing. I spoke to one of my friends who has a baby and she said that she's seen on TikTok that people who move to Norway are like shocked that you can put your baby outside to sleep, like in their stroller, because that's just not safe in other places. But here, like, everyone does it. Literally, like, you see it all the time. You see like a stroller outside and there's a baby sleeping in it. It's just normal. It's not necessarily in your yard or somewhere that's like fenced in or anything. Like, it's just on your patio in front of the house. Like, people can see it from the street, but like no one's gonna steal your baby or hurt your baby for that matter. Like, no one's gonna do anything. It's just normal that your baby is there. No one's gonna touch it. Building on my first point of like the safety thing, in London I kind of always just expect the worst from people because I have to be cautious and I have to be prepared that like someone might try and hurt me, because it has happened, even though I have been very lucky and I haven't had a lot of scary situations. Whenever I'm like walking somewhere or on the bus or anything, I try to just not look at anyone because I don't want to draw attention and I don't want to like be approachable. If I look at someone and get eye contact, it kind of like allows them to interact with me, and I don't want to allow that because I don't want anyone to mess with me. And it's the whole issue of like people just trying to hit you up. I fully support trying to meet someone organically, but you have to not be creepy about it and not be gross. And a lot of the people are not trying to just set up a date, they're trying to be hella gross with you. But in Norway that just doesn't happen, and especially in my hometown, like, why would people be like gross to me? Like, they know my dad, you know? like you know that this is someone's daughter, this is someone's son, like this is someone's actual child, and you know their parents, or you know someone who knows their parents. People become much more, I guess, real people and not just one of the like 10,000 people you've seen today. And it's just so refreshing to not have to worry that people are gonna creep. Like, obviously we do have weird people and we do have people who are gonna do bad things and all of that, but you don't have to expect it because most likely it's not gonna happen. I'm still trying to adjust to the fact that I don't have to try and be unapproachable. Like, I'm a very approachable person. I'm not gonna say that I've been great at being unapproachable, but I'm still trying to work on like actually looking around me, because it's now happened like twice that I've ignored the same friend when I've seen them in town because I am just not paying attention, and she's had to be like, hello, for me to see her. I met one of my friend's moms at the store, or I mean, I walked straight past them and she was like, are you not used to actually like looking at people? Because here, you know, you actually know people. I'm trying to get better at looking around me, because the chances of me knowing people is actually, it's actually there now. In London, obviously I don't pay attention at all because most likely I am not gonna see anyone. It's happened once that I've seen someone on the street, like actually on Oxford Street, randomly seen someone, and that it was in 7 years. It's very unlikely that I'm gonna just randomly see someone that I know. But here, it's probably gonna happen every time I go out, and I need to kind of like pay attention so that I don't ignore people. Another big difference is diversity, which is probably not very surprising, but a small town in Norway is not gonna be as diverse as a huge city like London. And I'm not just talking about skin colors or race, but also like disabilities and just people looking different to like the standardized default of what we expect people to look like. I noticed that I've seen so much more than a lot of people here, and I think, like an example, people that have certain disabilities or maybe someone who is a little person. I can notice that for someone, I know that sometimes it's easier to stare if it's someone that you haven't seen before, or like a group of people you haven't seen represented before and you're seeing them for the first time. But I know that sometimes it can be easier to stare if you're for the first time seeing a group of people represented. I've seen everything. Like, I've seen all kinds of people, and here you just don't see it very often. It is kind of boring. I'm so glad that there are more nationalities here than when I grew up, and I'm glad that like my friends' kids, they go to school and go to kindergarten with people from other countries and with more skin colors than white. I'm sure like when I went to kindergarten there were maybe 2 non-white kids and the rest were just white, Norwegian ethnicity and everything. So I'm really glad that it's like getting better. The last thing I'm gonna mention is a very obvious one, and that's availability and accessibility. Obviously, when you live in a really big and busy city, a lot of things are going to be available to you like right away, and it's really easy to get stuff and get them immediately almost. Like, you can get groceries delivered in less than 20 minutes. Do you think I can do that here? But it's going to take me less than 20 minutes to go and get groceries, so there's pros everywhere, and I can walk and get my groceries because it's so close, because everything is just small. But in London, I can order food, and I can order from a wide variety of different cuisines and most things that I want. Like, there's going to be at least 2 or 3 restaurants that can provide this, the same kind of food, and I can pick and choose what kind of pizza I want and all of that. Like here, I don't think we have any place that delivers food. You have to go and pick it up or eat there if that's an option. And obviously we don't have all kinds of food that you could want. And if there's something that you need, you can get it delivered the next day or even the same day, depends on what it is and where you're ordering it from. That's just not an option here. Last Friday, the new Pokemon game came out and I was super excited to play it, and I ordered it and it said that the expected delivery date would be the 26th, which was a whole week later, and I mean, that's just not okay. Obviously that's a first world problem, but like when you're really excited for a game to come out and then you have to wait a week when you're gonna watch like all these people play it. I did manage to get it because I went to the next town over and bought it, so I was able to get it on the day, but there's nowhere that sells games in my town, and it's kind of crazy. Oh my god, my leg is like completely asleep. I can't even feel my leg. I don't know why I thought I could just sit here on the ground and make the whole video, because no, I can't do that. It's coming back to life. All right, that was it for today. I'm gonna make more videos on this topic, of course. Oh, you know when you get the blood flow going and it's just so uncomfortable. My neighbors are gonna think I'm crazy. We're just sitting here laughing by myself. Fortunately, no one can see me, but I'm sure they can hear me. Oh, that does not feel good. Oh my god, I can't. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any experiences of living in 2 very different places, feel free to share them down below. I think this is a very interesting topic to talk about. I shall see you next Friday with a new video. Keep it the good vibes. Bye!